Hello, World Typology welcomes you. July 13th, 2020. 16 characters of people in the world. There is a logical regularity that was discovered before by our predecessors. It lies in the fact that there are only 16 characters of people, or 16 types of personalities. We are sure that these numbers are correct. 16 characters of people were found in typology. In our case, we have a different description of 16 characters of people based on our theoretical scheme created by logical synthesis. All these 16 characters of people are the innate personality types. We divide these types naturally into two groups. They are concrete and abstract groups. We call all these types ITT, innate type of thinking. As for the ITT, it can be typical and atypical. We will discuss what is typical and atypical later. In the description of each ITT that I will tell you, you will notice such words like melancholic, phlegmatic, sanguine, and choleric. These words show what kind of qualities are more visible in such temperaments, and it influences the inner difference of behavior between 16 characters of people. We will provide you new names of 16 types according to the authors of this typology and theory that is called compact Socionics, so that you understand the connection of the new names of types with the old names of 16 types of other authors in the old school of Socionics. They are comparable with each other. For example, DLST, that means logical sensory introvert, or LC in Russian. ACTT means ethical intuitive extrovert. ASLT, that is the same as SLE, sensory logical extrovert. DTCT means intuitive ethical introvert. ALST means logical sensory extrovert. DCTT means ethical intuitive introvert. DSLT means sensory logical introvert. ATCT means intuitive ethical extrovert. ALTT means logical intuitive introvert. DCST means ethical sensory extrovert. ASCT means sensory ethical introvert. DTLT means intuitive logical extrovert. DLTT means logical intuitive extrovert. ACST means ethical sensory introvert. DSCT means sensory ethical extrovert, and ATLT means intuitive logical introvert. Here is the description of such characters. DLST, that means democratic logical seeing type. That's attentive person, does not offend weak people and those who need protection, always ready to be helpful, and one of the most reliable person among 16 characters of people. Respects controversial and religious views and tries to strive for equality, especially sanguine. Usually attentive to suspicious things. Such person has a good memory for details and meaning of conversation that is actual to him. That's melancholic and choleric. Passive patriot. painfully reacts to those people who betray the homeland and their nation. Such people doesn't like to change something in his or her life, especially melancholic and choleric. Tries to make any compromise in order to find his place and position with co-workers. Usually such person does not pay much attention to other people's defects, especially sanguine and phlegmatic. His or her words sometimes may hurt other people. This is because such ITT, such personality, doesn't know how to pick up the right words, especially melancholic and choleric, or express his or her feelings and thoughts, melancholic and phlegmatic. That is why DLST has an image of restrained person. This person likes to watch others. They don't like when somebody helps them until they ask for help. But usually DLST respects the freedom of choice. He will not push on people if they made their choice. That is why such person likes to be independent, especially sanguine and phlegmatic. But at the same time, he is afraid to lose his job, friends, and tries to be attentive and flexible. Sometimes such person closes the eyes to other people's whims, sanguine. ACTT, aristocratic, casuistic, thinking type. The second type of the 16 characters of people. He likes to show others his feelings and experience. ACTT always wants to be necessary and significant person, especially choleric. Such people have a natural talent in music and acting. That is why he or she likes to visit different performances and theaters. Such people like to entertain their colleagues and friends, especially sanguine. Sometimes they may have a feeling of free time and they don't know what to do and how to spend his time. That's melancholic, phlegmatic, and choleric. Such person may have some inclination for adventures, but later ACTT may become unsure about this position and changes the tactics, sanguine and choleric. Despite the artistry, ACTT may be cautious to other people that do not belong to his or her own inner circle. Strict and judicious, he doesn't like to compromise much, especially melancholic and choleric. But at the same time, ACTT has a constant image of mysterious and interesting person. He can rapidly change the meaning and topic of conversation. ASLT, aristocratic, sane, logical type. Makes an impression of a strict and disciplined person. Also, he can look like a person who likes order and justice. He manages to visit a lot of places, especially those where someone is quarreling. That's melancholic and choleric. They are patriots. This person brings everything into his house and family, what he or she earned. ASLT likes his country. Such people are loyal to their homeland even if they can change the country. He may be a straightforward and sometimes even rude person, but usually they become restrained when they meet unpleasant person. Melancholic does that. Such person likes to look for some goals and benefits. Therefore, he can change the position at work, sanguine and choleric. Usually he thinks that showing feelings is a good habit, but delegates this duty to others. ASLT is honest and straightforward person. They usually don't lie. A good habit among 16 characters of people. And this is not because of their principles, sanguine. May look for love relationships with new women or men that sometimes forget to do his or her duties. Sometimes can be only superficial as companion. This is because he does not get deeply to the conversation. In such situation, they don't talk much, especially phlegmatic and sanguine. When ASLT press on others, they prefer to talk about the rules and principles. Sometimes they use even spiritual or religious rules, may ask for moral compensation after a conflict, especially melancholic and choleric. DTCT, Democratic Thinking Casuistic Type. A good fantasist among 16 characters of people. They are often upset when their life ideas, thoughts, and views are not real, melancholic and choleric, and such views may not become real in most cases. They create a charm, and when they see a purpose, they show their feelings and experiences to others. Creates an occasion in order to do his own goals and good. All temperaments. As a person, he may be unreliable because such people may forget about their obligations and life principles. But they don't understand why somebody may dishonor them about it, especially melancholic and phlegmatic. He is not indifferent to other people. Very often, others remember DTCT as a good worker, for example, as paramedic, sanguine. But usually DTCT is a good worker for others. When his or her family needs help, such type prefers to avoid these duties, all temperaments. May be involved in conflicts, and when others are quarreling, melancholic and choleric. Silent and passive patriot, all temperaments. For self-defense uses his sympathy and calm emotions in order to end the conflict with aggressive people. They don't have a feeling of guilt or responsibility towards people when they use their self-defense. All temperaments. ALST, Aristocratic Logical Scene Type. Such people try to reach their goals in business and relationships in a short period of time. They respect others' behavior and not relate it to their position. Usually ALST likes to educate their inner circle in terms of some rules and moral. They realize that their spirituality can be even opposite to conventional wisdom. Such people usually stick to one religion and value it, especially sanguine. ALST can pay attention only to one object or one thing depending on situation, melancholic and phlegmatic. As a personality may be honest. Their face may blush when they need to lie. This is also a good habit among different 16 characters of people. Usually their information has only a diplomatic character, melancholic. In a new team, ALST shows his or her emotions and feelings. That is why others will remember them as an interesting person, an open-minded personality, sanguine. Such people have a need in changing their permanent residence. Also, they want to buy only new things. But all these duties they try to blame to others. Choleric. They like to talk about new things or technologies, sanguine. ALST wants to be an interesting person to everyone with their appearance and behavior. They try to be a very accurate and modern person. Such people don't try to choose only one side, they try to analyze and try to find more benefits for themselves. Sanguine. Usually they don't think that others deserve some help. But despite this, they may offer it for a good reputation. After that, they may remind others about his or her debt, all temperaments. In conflict situations, they try to get back into the details of the conversation. That means that they go deeply into the details that created in a conflict. That is why the conflict may not end peacefully, choleric. DCTT, Democratic Casuistic Thinking Type. They easily maintain relationships. DCTT has compromise with others. Even if the relationships are not good, they will remain a good companion and the person to talk with. They like to introduce people not only for love purposes, they try to find some charm inside of each person. Phlegmatic, sanguine. DCTT has changeable position and mood, melancholic and choleric. In clothes, tries to find something refined that others may also like, phlegmatic. Sometimes they can be naive and believe to everything that others say, sanguine, choleric. Usually they don't like to protest and to be in conflict, phlegmatic, sanguine. Good as a consultant and attentive to people. Tries to guide others on the right way, phlegmatic, sanguine. Faithful to his or her family, friends and close people, but tries to hide this position, all temperaments. DCTT usually don't think badly about others, but can discuss it behind the back, phlegmatic and sanguine. Very calm and judicious person, but don't like when someone strange shows him his feelings. Such people usually don't think that love is something emotional and high, melancholic and phlegmatic. DCTT can easily hide the facts that nobody will see it. It may look that such people have no problems in their life, melancholic, phlegmatic, sanguine. DSLT, democratic, sane logical type. He pays attention to one object or a thing and tries to find its weaknesses and qualities in order to know more, melancholic, phlegmatic, sanguine. Isn't it a strange habit among all 16 characters of people? DSLT realizes the spirituality and chooses in which circle of people it is comfort to do that. Such people can change their beliefs, friends, and sometimes even not to promote their spirituality or religion. Tries to find inconsistency, truth, and likes to hear the opinion of others about any reason, sanguine. Such people usually don't know how to behave correctly with those who need support or feelings. This is because they don't know how to express those feelings. This is especially for melancholic and choleric. They can offer their ideas to others and sometimes can even lie or hide something. They like to demonstrate their strong qualities and prestige, all temperaments. DSLT considers is that the good appearance of other people is one of the most valuable and important attributes in their life. But being stick to one object, they may forget about this rule, all temperaments. Such people like something new and unusual, therefore they will accept any offer, sanguine. Usually DSLT don't judge the others, because they know that all people can have mistakes and have a lot of defects. That is why DSLT prefers not to resolve such problems, especially phlegmatic and sanguine. In any conflict, tries to find a constructive decision, usually in a peaceful manner, sanguine. But sometimes they want to cause remorse in others and have a competitive spirit, and sometimes can be envious, melancholic. ATCT, aristocratic, thinking, casuistic type. Has a constant need for travel where can find something new and interesting. Such people often like to change clothes, job, friends, place of residence, sanguine and choleric. Wants people to love him or her, sanguine. Usually ATCT doesn't divide people on categories, but they usually have some people they don't respect and don't want to help them. Has an image of merchant that likes to get more than give, melancholic and phlegmatic. Tries to find fashionable clothes, sanguine, counts only on himself or herself. But if such person sees that someone needs help or service, usually starts to panic. But if he or she managed to help the others, they will never forget about the debts, Melancholic. Maybe conflicting person, but anyway tries to be in the image of business person or responsible person. Choleric. He likes the religious rules and etiquette, but in reality may not stick to that all the time. All temperaments. ATCT consider themselves as the responsible workers, but they are not the most responsible personalities among all 16 characters of people. They cannot be attentive to every detail and can't stick their attention to one object. This fact may cause some bad mood or small depression inside of them, melancholic and choleric. Usually they try to find some obvious work or methods to get benefits because they cannot lie or get out fast of situation. This is due to the lack of words and logic. They try to avoid such situation, especially phlegmatic and sanguine. In conflicts, such people can create an image of their guilt and show some emotions. They like to save all relationships because they will manage to break up the relations at any time. Sanguine. ALTT. Aristocratic, logical thinking type. A person that knows the life. They choose any activity and business and study in it. Such people like to create proverbs, jokes, and interesting pictures, phlegmatic and sanguine. A little bit more than other 16 characters of people. They are not very good as a subordinate employee, because they have introverted and moody character or depression. Due to their constant changeable mood, they may betray their partners in love, family, or business, especially melancholic and choleric. Such people may notice their own egoism, but usually they don't like such feelings. Melancholic and phlegmatic. ALTT has a good understanding of others' people character and usually knows how to talk with them, especially sanguine. Such people consider pliability and sincerity as the good character traits, but they cannot use these traits by themselves and try to delegate these to others, melancholic and phlegmatic. He is a hidden leader that needs a sense of significance, melancholic and choleric. Sometimes they forget to take some necessary clothes or things for a trip, but they don't worry about it. Usually ALTT doesn't have a list of plans to do. All their plans are spontaneous. This may create a surprise to their relatives. All temperaments. In conflict situations, they try to stop the conflict by showing some care to everyone, no matter if it is positive or negative type of care. Phlegmatic and sanguine. DCST. Democratic, casuistic, sane type. A person that wants to be better than others. I mean literally, they want to be the best among all 16 characters of people. Such people dream about lots of achievements and usually they try hard in order to get it. DCST do not like to admit their own failures. Sanguine and choleric. He is a typical Don Juan. They trust only those people who are close to them, especially proven and authoritative people. DCST has very good sense of duty. They control and protect their inner circle, especially phlegmatic. When someone asks them for help, such people may become nervous. Sometimes they have a fear and unsure position about the future of their family or close people, especially melancholic and choleric. Such people can easily learn foreign languages or something new regarding their tasks at the job. They like to have business trips. They are hospitable with uninvited guests too, especially sanguine. DCST likes to be an image of serious, discreet, and enterprising person, melancholic. Despite the fact that such people can easily learn new working tasks or languages, they might get tired of that and leave these tasks for later. They also can hesitate about what kind of activity or jobs they want to do. This is because such people like to do a lot of different things at the same time, but some of them can be disappointed in their actions later, especially choleric and melancholic. Although he notices valuable advice, he rarely uses it. Observes those who like to reason who is bad or good. He has tough and rude sense of humor and jokes that not everyone can understand. He may find himself in situations where he participates in the role of a third side or superfluous and then regrets about it. All temperaments. In conflicts, they prefer to argue with others and insist on their point of view, sometimes even down to assault and beatings, especially choleric. ASCT, aristocratic, seen, casuistic type. Very good companion. Romantic. Willingly makes contact but preferred to be in the role of observer. A lover of various events and exhibitions, especially sanguine. As a householder or housewife, usually surprises everyone with her dishes and beautiful cooking recipes, especially phlegmatic. Such people usually are not well organized, but they try to keep clean at home. But sometimes they feel lack of energy and time to keep everything around clean. Due to bad self-organization, such people may be late for important meetings or interviews, and therefore they are usually worried about it, sanguine. ASCT likes to care about others or give some advice. They can treat others with something tasty. Sometimes such people may impose their qualities to others in order to keep the relations strong, sanguine. But at the same time, ASCT can be a very vulnerable and vindictive person. This happens if he or she realizes that there is no need to fix on little things. Melancholic and choleric. True hedonist. They like to talk with others and even do not pay attention to someone else's mood. Phlegmatic and sanguine. Very delicate and polite with people and have an image of well-mannered person, especially phlegmatic and sanguine. Overall, ASCT is an impressive person that has some artistical talents. In conflicts, they know how to defend themselves using right beliefs and evidences, sanguine. DTLT, democratic, thinking, logical type. This person likes to set the goals high and looks for something new and sublime. They need some care and help because they are the people of changeable mood. Usually wants to be interesting in the eyes of others. Wants to be a leader and be in a spotlight, especially sanguine and choleric. But in general, they are not so good in leading others among the other 16 types of people. Such people can do several tasks simultaneously, combine work and hobbies. Photographer, sculptor, musician, surgeon, etc. These people succeed in everything because they always have some unique ideas, especially sanguine. But due to constant changeable mood, they may betray his or her partners at home or at work, all temperaments. Usually behaves relaxed with others and do not use the rules of behavior. That's all temperaments too. Courageous in communication with others in order to gain their trust, sanguine. If the TLT has a bad mood, he can be rude and even fight with someone. Provokes people to fight, choleric. DTLT thinks that each person should want to be the best in their jobs or hobbies, but sometimes they are lazy to stick to this rule, all temperaments. Such people like to watch the others and analyze the behavior of others. DTLT don't respect much those people who have very intelligent image. This is because they think that these people are just playing roles, melancholic and choleric. Sometimes can be frivolous and don't have a sense of depth. Usually such people consider that they owe nothing to anyone, all temperaments. In conflict situations, they may consider two options. First option is to get away from the conflict, and the second option is to fight with the person he or she doesn't like. If the fight happens, they may ask their friends to help them too, sanguine and choleric. DLTT, democratic, logical thinking type. They succeed mostly in everything and try not to drag out time. This is a good habit among the 16 characters of people. These people resolve all the problems easily, and that is why they usually don't have much problems. DLTT is usually don't stay in one place because they are very busy, especially sanguine. Such people have a good sense of care that is usually directed to his family. Some of them can help the others too, but it depends on the situation. They also don't mind to have some experiments in family or business. The other 16 characters of people will not understand such experiments and their purpose. They don't know how to make a deal without a notary or witnesses. That is why they may become depressed about it, melancholic, sanguine, and choleric. Very strong opponent at work and business who tries to obey the rules and be the best in their position. They try to show their best qualities of character, sanguine. DLTT understands that active propaganda and useful acquaintances is a key to personal growth, but they are lazy to do that all the time, phlegmatic and sanguine. Such people don't understand others much. That is why they rely only on personal comfort when they talk with others, melancholic, phlegmatic, choleric. They like different opinions about etiquette and rules of behavior, sanguine. They are very serious and responsible to everything what surrounds them. DLTT think that jokes and criticism is the same thing. That is why they may be aggressive about it, melancholic and choleric. So they have specific humor among all 16 characters of people. In conflict situations, they behave differently. They may crash the plates on the kitchen or fight with the opponent. Some of them may simply go away in tears, for example, choleric. DLTT may laugh and in 1 second change their mood rapidly to serious, sanguine. ACST, aristocratic, casuistic, scene type. These people are good at human psychology. This is their innate talent, and it is the highest talent among the all 16 types of people. They usually check the reactions of other people and may foresee some of their steps. They know how to win a maximum in the situation and get a maximum profit or benefits from the situation, sanguine. Knows how to adapt to others, but is faithful only to his or her family. Such people usually don't forget to give presents and greet on holidays, phlegmatic. They often intense because their tact leads to nervous mood and disappointment, melancholic, choleric. At work, they usually want to know everything about their colleagues and their private life in details, sanguine. In theory, ACST have a sense of depth and may be faithful. All temperaments. Such people may be very unsure when you give them a choice. For example, the choice of love partners or jobs. ACST may want everything at the same time, and that is why they will hesitate and seek for advice, choleric. Secretive person. Usually they don't show competitive spirit. Therefore, they do not talk about the success and good qualities of others. Instead, they pretend not to hear about it. Melancholic and phlegmatic. In conflict situations, tries not to provoke the conflict in order to keep his or her own peace of mind. Phlegmatic and sanguine. So they are true philosophers and strong psychological analysts among all 16 types of people. DSCT, Democratic Seeing Casuistic Type. Likes to bother the others. Tends to be an interesting person, but usually such people are fixated on fulfilling their own needs. Sanguine. They know the weaknesses of others and sometimes may use this knowledge. They may courageously go for contact with other people if they need it. All temperaments. There are the moments when such people prefer to think only about themselves, sanguine and choleric. They try to create business from everything around. This is a good habit for their family among all 16 characters of people. They can be attentive even to unnecessary details, therefore they don't understand why other people laugh. Sometimes DSCT doesn't hide his or her attitude or intentions to others, all temperaments. In team of colleagues, tries not to hide his or her emotions and mood. Sometimes they can be rude, but they ask the others for patience and restraint, melancholic and choleric. Usually they show their positive mood, because such people believe that they may share their mood with the others, sanguine. Uninvited guest. Likes to make gifts out of nothing, or using the things he or she doesn't need. May cancel an important meeting without informing in advance because of their so-called bad memory or busyness. All temperaments. Sometimes he or she behaves like a teenager who knows absolutely no risk or trouble, sanguine and choleric. Usually a demanding person, melancholic and choleric. They try to become famous and rich without working hard, choleric. In conflict situations, doesn't see his or her own fault. All the acts they committed they consider as right actions. Never admits defeat and can be very strong opponent. Melancholic and choleric. ATLT, Aristocratic Thinking Logical Type. Such people may believe in rates. This is the purpose of their intuition, which is the high among the others 16 characters of people. They can protect their family and nation from lies, illnesses, lechery, and starvation. Shows indifference to people and patience. They like to hint, tell, convince. Such people like to analyze the reasons of some phenomena if it touches the questions of life and health, especially sanguine. May succeed in many activities if he or she needs it, sanguine. May forget to take the necessary things, choleric. Takes care of loved ones, can find the most valuable things exclusively for them. Feels internal discomfort if they have to compete with someone. May be compliant person, phlegmatic. shows trust and sincerity to strangers, especially to those who actively demonstrate their personality. Phlegmatic, sanguine. ATLT understands something about the relations of people, but for them it is a difficult question. Therefore they try to delegate it to others. It's hard for them to find a mutual language with any person, but they think that this is important. Sanguine. Sometimes such people may be seductive in their manners. Phlegmatic, sanguine. They can live in places where there is no comfort or prestige, and usually they don't worry about it. They do not need the fame. At home such person is usually passive and doesn't like to clean the house. Phlegmatic. In conflict situations, such people may show their emotions and can be very active. In some cases, they can light up even more spark of emotions and make a conflict to continue. Choleric. Innate types that are atypical have almost the same description as typical types, but their stable life values and behavior will be a bit different. Thank you for listening.